Welcome here into the VRL Week 1 matchup between Portland Treeckos and the Vancouver Ursarings. Rice of Portland will be bringing in Mimikyu, Basculegion, Arcanine, Charizard, Gardevoir, and Venusaur, and Juice of the Vancouver Ursarings will be bringing Abomasnow, Dragonite, Politoed, Hydreigon, Gardevoir, and King Gambit as both squads try to see who can wiggle out for their first win here in Week 1. So here we start. We'll see what both Portland and Vancouver decide to bring out and who will win this best 2 out of 3 matchup. So it is Politoed and Dragonite for Vancouver and Basculegion and Venusaur for Portland. An interesting choice. Politoed for Vancouver does not have Drizzle as its ability, so we'll be intrigued to see what is going to be happening here for this matchup. Juice, a native of Vancouver, representing his Ursarings. Their logo was inspired. Oh, but we'll hold that. Sludge Bomb onto the Hydreigon. Does a bit of damage, and here comes the Fire Blast incoming onto the Venusaur, bringing it into red health. Obviously, super effective, 2 times effective. And here comes Basculegion, is able to hit the Blizzard. It knocks out the Hydreigon and gets Dragonite into half health. What a play on Portland's end. So, once again, Vancouver will bring out Gardevoir, and it will trace Basculegion's Swift Swim. We'll see what Portland decides to do. But as I was saying, Vancouver is logo is inspired by the old, well, it used to be the Vancouver Grizzlies in the NBA before they relocated to Memphis, as well as their soccer team there. So it's a mashup logo, and the Portland Treeckos, coached by Rice, are inspired by the Portland Thorns. And here comes an Ice Beam onto the Gardevoir. What a good switch to get that Venusaur out of play. And here comes a Psyshock onto Basculegion. Basculegion uses Blizzard. Dragonite will avoid the attack, but not the Gardevoir. So unfortunate, trying to get the KO onto the Dragonite. Does a bit of damage onto the Gardevoir. We shall see what Portland and Vancouver decide to do here. Portland coming out swinging right away. We love to see it. Full forced, heavy attacks. All right, and Vancouver decides to Mega Evolve their Gardevoir, and we shall see what set they try to run. But Portland also decides to Mega Evolve their Gardevoir. What a beautiful shiny as well here in our Week 1 matchup. Incoming a Fire Blast. It'll be going against the Gardevoir. Neutral kind of effect due to the fairy typing, and here comes a Psyshock onto the Basculegion. Is going to put it into red health, but Basculegion does have a Citrus Berry. Very interesting choices. Alluring Voice onto the Dragonite, knocks it out, and down goes Dragonite, and Vancouver easily down 0-2 here on these Mons, and incoming a Shadow Ball from the Basculegion. It's going to leave Gardevoir with 3 hit points left. Oh my goodness. Portland coming out swinging, and incoming the Politoed from Vancouver's side. We'll see what Portland and Vancouver decide to do. Portland deciding to protect on the Basculegion, and Gardevoir will get hit with a Hydro Pump, will survive with 24 hit points. And the opposing Gardevoir will use Psyshock, but the Basket Legion, of course, protected itself. And Gardevoir will use a Focus Blast, but Politoed will avoid it. Moves upon moves. And once again, Portland deciding to retreat the Gardevoir and brings out Arcanine. A very interesting decision, but gets the Intimidate, so -1 onto, and Arcanine avoids the Hydro Pump. Will get hit with a Psyshock though. What a move. And the Basket Legion is going to use Muddy Water. It's going to hit their own. Onto the Gardevoir. The Gardevoir is down. And all that remains on Vancouver's end is the Politoed. And Arcanine is going to survive here with some leftovers. Bring it to about what looks like half on that meter. So we shall see what the play is here on Vancouver's end, as that Politoed has to survive. It is at full health. And the Basket Legion, Portland still surviving with all 4 members. Extreme Speed, gotta bring it close to almost half. Here comes the Hydro Pump, is gonna knock out the Arcanine, so there is a plus for Politoed and Vancouver. But once again, here comes a Shadow Ball from the Basket Legion, is gonna get down to 38 and will make the Politoed eat up that Citrus Berry. And we shall see what Portland decides to bring out to try to take down this Politoed. Incoming the Venusaur. Interesting choices and interesting decisions to be made here. Vancouver not totally out of it just yet, but a long road to climb. There is the Protect from the Basket Legion. Venusaur using a Sleep Powder, and it hits onto the Politoed. At this point, I think Portland feels like it's doing a little bit of trolling. As both sides try to prepare themselves. And does Portland finally just blow the final kill out of the water? Here comes the incoming Sludge Bomb. And Vancouver will go down here in match 1. And that is a match point for Portland as we get ourselves set up for match number 2 here in the VRL between Portland and Vancouver. Champ. So, nonetheless, it is going to scan Skeleturge's Unaware. And we're going to see this from Vancouver's point of view this time around. Interesting choices to be made here by both squads. What does Portland try to do to capitalize and keep momentum swinging on their side as they try to get their first win here in the Victory Road League? So nonetheless, an instant, the Gardevoir will Mega Evolve. Excadrill will use Shadow Claw onto the Gardevoir, knocking it down to 33 hit points left. What a move from Portland to try to get that Gardevoir out of here. And here comes a Psyshock, leaving 19 points on the Skeleturge, a critical hit. Here comes an Alluring Voice onto the Machamp, and it's going to knock it down to 83 hit points. It's super effective, of course, and here comes the Citrus Berry being eaten by the Machamp. So what a way to get that out of the way. Throat Chop onto the Skeleturge, and down goes Skeleturge. And already swinging momentum back into Vancouver's favor. How does Portland counteract this and try to come out with the win and the steal? Incoming a Mouse Hold Family of 4. Are we due for a population bomb is the question. We shall see, folks. We shall see. Vacuum Wave coming onto the mouse hold. It is super effective on the mouse hold. And a Shadow Claw should do this Gardevoir. So now we are back to even between both squads. A critical hit just for good measure. What a play from Portland's side. And Mousehold with the population bomb onto the Machamp. Hits once, hits twice. A critical hit on the Machamp. Hits a third time, hits a fourth time, hits a fifth time, hits a sixth time, and down goes the Machamp. What a play from the Mousehold. And momentum swinging right back into Portland's favor. And incoming, here comes a Snorlax, which we know can be a beefy mon, and Absol. What does this Excadrill and Mousehold have left for this Vancouver squad that's breaking out Snorlax and Absol? Of course, the beefy mon on the field would be the Snorlax. We know it to be a bit of a tank. Can take hits, is down hard to take down. But what does Portland have up its sleeve to keep momentum on its side? They will withdraw the Mousehold and send out Lucario. Excadrill with the X-Scissor onto the Absol, leaves it down to 4 hit points. Absol will use a knockoff. Not very effective. And a body slam incoming onto the Lucario. Will eat that up. Not enough to take it down. That knockoff doing a bit of damage though onto Portland's Lucario. But we shall see what is incoming, and can Vancouver try to take out this Lucario and this Excadrill, and eventually that Mousehold to try to swing this to a match 3, or will Portland finally seal the deal? And the Lucario will Mega Evolve right away. What a play from Portland's side. Absol with the Shadow Sneak onto the Excadrill. Does a little bit of damage. And Lucario with the close combat onto the Snorlax. Knocks it out. A 1-hit KO, folks. That will drop Lucario's defense and special defense. But all that remains is this Absol. And the X-Scissor will hit. Down goes Absol. And Portland is your winner here in week 1 against the Vancouver Ursarings. What a win from Portland's side. And we will try to see if Portland would love to do a post-game interview. Congratulations to the Portland Treeckos, and GG's to the Vancouver Ursarings here in week 1.
He has so much speed. I love him.
That's fair.
Well, actually, it's a she. She be popping.
Great choice indeed. Now, how prepared did you think to take down Juice here in week 1? Was there any sort of mental preparation for it, or were you just gunning for it right away? Because you started out with some heavy hitters. You didn't even decide to set up. You went straight for the throat.
No, for real. What was it? I told him that I put the protect on some of my Pokemon, and I was like, dude, I'm not gonna let you do this to me anymore. Because usually I just don't. I just take all the hits.
Okay. Well, Portland, you guys go into your bye week 1-0, and Vancouver will look to play Boston next week. Thank you so much for your time, Rice, and congratulations on getting your first win here in the VRL.
Thank you. This is gonna be my only win.
All right. So you heard it there, folks, from Portland's coach, Rice. They go into a bye week next week, which means they will not be playing. Vancouver will look to play Boston and the Momolutions, both teams coming in at 0-1, and who can get a first win between those two squads. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in week 2.